A while ago, but do you remember the first day that you said that you started feeling sick?
If I talk you through it, can you try and give me a day that you felt better?
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Have you been to any other events or places other than that particular day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I understand completely what you're saying.
Loss of taste or smell.
Social gatherings. Could be dinner parties, birthday parties, sporting events, things like that.
Hi, I'm calling because Washington State Department of Health was notified that you were in close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19, and we got some information we'd like to give you. I have two. Perfect. And do you know if you've been tested for COVID-19? We recommend that you stay at home until the 17th and monitor yourself for illness during this time.
One of your household contacts tested positive, and they'll be auto-populated on a list, and so we make a list.
Okay, what county do you live in?
Do you need any other assistance of any type to help to safely stay away from other people? Yes, okay.
So let's say an individual tests positive for COVID-19. Once they have that conversation with the provider that ordered the test or requested the test, they will notify the person that they've been contracted the disease. Then their information will go to Department of Health, and they will go into a database. So that secondary contact goes into another list of people to call. That person will be called and said, hey, I'm Kriess from DOH. I understand that we've been notified that you have been in contact with somebody who has been tested positive. They won't mention who it was, so there's that confidentiality. They will recommend that they self-isolate or self-quarantine. If they have symptoms, they'll ask them those questions if they've got any symptoms. They'll encourage them to contact their medical provider. Don't go to the hospital necessarily. And then if their provider recommends a test, then they'll do that. But again, that information shows the potential progression of the virus from the initial patient who we contacted to a second person. And so that information goes to the Department of Health. They will look at that graphically and geographically and find out how is that spreading. And then if they need to notify the county or jurisdiction that potential case lives in, if there's a chain of other events that they maybe went to a common place. In fact, I believe it was 4 different instances. Somebody on my team was able to connect them with a resource that they needed. For instance, one person said that they were homebound and weren't able to get out and get some food. And they said, boy, it should be nice if I could get access to some food. So we looped back with a contact with the Department of Health and then called them back right away and say, here's a service that actually provides food directly from a food bank and we'll deliver it to you. I think one of the cool things about the National Guard is that we are all members of our state, right? We're neighbors with the people that we're talking on the phone. We've volunteered to serve in this capacity. Yes, we're being compensated for it, but we're volunteering in this capacity. So I think that from the initial mindset, we're wired to help people, especially in the state of Washington. So that's a great starting point. And so when Department of Health comes to us and says, here's what you need to do in order to help people, then that's I think our guardsmen are they're wired for that initially. Then we're receptive as a team. We have an internal structure of different supervisory skills. We've got a very diverse workforce. I mean, I have a physician's assistant, I have a wheeled vehicle mechanic, and pretty much everybody between. So we're a very diverse team. Everybody's got something to bring to the mission, and we're just happy to work together and partner with DOH.
As far as training goes, the military typically has a lot of personal information, kind of not floating around, but there is personal information that you need to know about people. So we already have some prior training as far as maintaining people's personal information safely. That was reinforced for about a week it was mostly training on just handling personal information correctly and making sure that we don't say people's names when we're talking about it, even in office. We use people's case ID number that they get assigned, and to pull their name from that ID number is a couple of steps. So it's behind some software, but a lot of it is us just having training in handling this information the correct way. A lot of the folks that I've been in contact with have been your husband and wife, you're multiple people in the household, and so when you get on the phone and you're able to kind of make sure that they know, hey, if you need to stay inside, that spreading that sort of information and ensuring that people understand, like, this is coming from the state, this is an official, it's not a mandate, we can't force them to do it, but this is the state's recommendation that you stay inside. I think it makes people realize that it's an important, really an important thing to stay inside and try to stay away from even grocery stores and that sort of stuff. So being able to talk to like multiple people in a household and just kind of driving that point home that, hey, this is what we recommend, and you really feel like people are getting that message, which is saving lives. This specific job and the Guard in general really helps out the people of the state. Whether I haven't been able to yet, but whether we're responding to a natural disaster or something like this that's affecting people, I really feel like we're helping people, and I hope that people take our message of staying home seriously.